First, we're talking about the science of energy with Reverend Michelle Scrimgeour-Brown. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
So we're talking about the science of energy and in particular energy medicine. So tell us, what is energy medicine?
Energy medicine is really a broad term that encompasses all kinds of healing, and a lot of people are actually really familiar with energy medicine. If you've ever had an MRI or an EKG or a PET scan, all of that is energy medicine. And like in an EKG, it's an echocardiogram. I think that's what it stands for.
I think so too.
What they're doing is they're looking at how your body responds to different pulsations, which is energy. You with me?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. And so we don't traditionally think of that as energy medicine, but all of us have a lot of familiarity with it. In an MRI, they're looking at how your body responds to different magnets. So it's all measurements of the energy of your body, because what we learn in science is that everything is energy. All matter is energy.
Absolutely. And so what is some of the work you do, the different modalities of energy healing?
I'm a Reiki master. Have you heard of Reiki?
I have, yes.
Okay, because Reiki, when people haven't heard of it, I describe it kind of as like massage for your soul.
That is a really great description.
Yeah, because when you have muscle pains and things, you go to a massage therapist and they dig in. If you're having emotional pain, you want to go to a practitioner who can help you release that work. And as a Reiki practitioner, we do a series of hands-on positions and we move around your body and we help you to release the energy that's blocking up your body.
So when you're talking about energy that's in your body, describe what you mean by that.
Okay, so that's a good question. So your body's made up of cells, right? And we know that matter exists in 3 states, which is solid, like the chairs we're sitting on. There's liquid, like the water in our glasses, and then there's gaseous, which is all around us, right? It's the air. Mm-hmm. And what we know about these states of matter is really the defining difference between them is how close together their cells are. So in a gaseous state, we can walk through the air because the cells are really far apart. In a liquid state, you can still walk through it, but you kind of have to like push through the water a little bit. There's some resistance because you're moving the cells apart. And as a solid body, your cells are like this, and they're really tight together. Okay, so you with me?
Yes.
Okay, so inside all of those cells are particles. I am not a scientist. But I remember a little bit of what I learned in grade 9 science, and I remember watching in a microscope cells under the microscope, and you'd see all these little things banging around inside the cells. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
So those are the particles, and your cells have a bunch of particles. Each cell has a bunch of particles that are banging around, and your body is made up of millions and millions of cells that have more and more and more particles that are all banging around, which creates your own vibration. So in the 60s, your vibration was considered your aura. You've heard of that term, I'm sure. Right?
Okay, they still use that a little bit today.
People still use it, absolutely. It became very popular in the 60s, though. People talked about, I could read your aura. And really what they're doing is looking at your energy field, and your vibration shifts depending on the emotions that you're feeling. So as an energy medicine practitioner, I am trained to be like that MRI machine and understand what's happening with your vibrations.
And so once you have this, you identify what's happening, are you using it to bring people into balance?
Yes.
And how are you doing that? How is it that you can do this for people?
Well, because I've been trained to be alert of what's going on around me, as well as what's happening in front of me. So when I'm feeling something, for example, if I'm doing Reiki on a person, I'll feel warmth in a spot that needs more attention. And so we just spend some time there. And what's happening while I'm practicing Reiki is that I am channeling the universal consciousness that's around us all the time. I'm channeling that gaseous state of energy that's around us. Because what that energy always wants for us is our highest and best. And as a Reiki practitioner, I am trained to channel that to that spot that's a little bit warm. Might be your knee, maybe you fell down the stairs and hurt it, or maybe you had a baseball injury from decades ago when you played in junior high. And we can heal all of that because the energy wants to repair the issue.
Are a lot of the issues that you deal with, do they also come from thinking? So if we start to get into a negative thought pattern, are we then affecting our energy in a negative way?
This is like my favorite topic.
Okay.
Quantum physics has been doing this thing in the last decade or so where they're trying to find the genome, like where the world started. And they've been smashing atoms. You may have heard of that. It's not like really common knowledge, but a lot of people have this awareness that we're looking for how small matter is there. So they're smashing atoms, which we used to think was the smallest point. And what the scientists who are smashing them have observed is that the thoughts of the scientists who are watching these fractions of atoms affect how those fractions behave.
So the atoms are being
thoughts are
affected
things.
even by the thoughts of the scientist.
Yeah.
So does that mean someone else's thoughts towards you can actually affect your energy as well?
Yes, they can. So I talk a lot about how thoughts are things, and I liken them to being seeds. So you imagine a farmer planting in the spring a bunch of carrot seeds, and they're getting ready to harvest. Now they're harvesting carrots, I think. How silly would it be for that farmer to be mad that he doesn't have beets?
Or cucumbers or tomatoes.
Right?
You reap what you sow. We're going to
Exactly.
carry on this conversation when we come back from the break because I know there's so much to talk about. So we have more with Reverend Michelle Scrimgeour Brown when we return. Stay with us.